Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 One Club story from Hemel Hempstead Town with me, Daniel. It's part 66 today, and spoiler alert, I just had to re-record that because for some reason I said part 43. Explain that to me. But it is part 66 for sure, and we are back for the start of the January transfer window in the Tudor Times, and that is because we have drawn a massive side away in the FA Cup third round. -7 degrees at Anfield, thank God for that undersoil heating. It wouldn't be on at Kenilworth Road as we go to Liverpool, who still are managed by Jurgen Klopp. I wonder if he's been there the whole time. We'll have a look in a moment, to face one hell of a stiff test at the first hurdle in the FA Cup. You can also see, if we have a look at the league table, that we have finally started to slide. We asked how long that momentum would stay. It's well and truly gone now. If you're looking forward to seeing what should be a crash back down to reality, we're 12 points away from being 19th, as is the nature of the Championship. Although we've probably got enough points to survive now, Fleetwood and the two below them are on awful points totals, well under a point a game. The rest of the league from 19th up could well be catching us yet. So if you want to see how we get on, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. It is nice to have a little bit of reality in this save. It was getting a bit silly, and it's nice to see that we've got something realistic now. It's partly because we've had problems with injuries, partly because of fixture congestion. But if you want to see if we can recover or whether it is going to be a downward slide, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. There's daily FM22 content from two long-term stories, and you may have seen a new mini-series earlier today. This week we're going to have a few videos relating to different areas of training. We talked about one or two of them in our end of season reviews, but I wanted to turn them into proper sort of mini guides as we did with the Data Hub before. So please do check that out in the eye above if you haven't already. It really is greatly appreciated, and hopefully it's useful too. The Twitch channel and the football podcast up there as well, and the new food video, which should be dropping today or tomorrow. But let's get cracking, shall we? We've got to start with the form because it's been diabolical. It's all gone very wrong. And we mentioned Fleetwood down the bottom of the league. That's just about the only game we've won since we were last here. So you were with me for Burnley and Derby, where we sort of started the slide, to be honest. We started the slide defensively a couple of games earlier, but in terms of results, we picked up 1 point out of 6 there. We did bounce back with a 1-0 win at Swansea. Ricky J. Jones had it again, and I thought, oh, maybe we're going to be all right. Since then, 1 win in 6 in all competitions, crashed out of the EFL Cup quarter-final when we had a great chance, got a stinker of a draw in the FA Cup, and have just been battered virtually every game in the league. So, a 2-1 defeat at home to Sheffield United. The game was out of sight before Kamari Doyle got a late consolation. Didn't mean much. A 1-0 win at Fleetwood, Ricky J. Jones, as often is the case, scoring the winning goal. 2-0 defeat against Birmingham. We had to rotate because at this point we had a game every 3 days. The festive period was coming up and it didn't help us. I should have just stuck with the first team. We were out of it by 25 minutes. Tyrese Campbell, we know how good he is from the head coach. He's been unbelievable for Birmingham here. A 1-0 defeat at Charlton, the side that obviously won the league ahead of us last year, and they look just as good here. 20 minutes to go, they got the winner, but for large parts they should have been well clear. A 1-1 draw at home to Swansea, who we'd beaten earlier in the month. Kamari Doyle popping up with a crucial goal there. Later picked up a knock. Story of the month. Little knocks that meant players have missed 1 or 2 games. And it's just led to fatigue in certain positions. And then it went crazy. A 4-2 defeat at Stoke. Rodell Richards and Javan Malcolm got 1 each. But we were already 3 down at the break and we were pathetic. Loads of yellow cards. Poor discipline. Poor fitness. And not enough quality. So defensively, we've dropped off a cliff. I've tried to introduce some of the tips from my training video earlier into this Hemel side to improve our defence. But I don't think Liverpool's the perfect game for those to get tested and judged appropriately. We will try and get through to the Borough game as well, unless there's mass transfer news. Of course, it was last January where we ended up having to stumble over the line in League One due to our chairman selling one of our best players, Harry Thornley. Thankfully, on that occasion, we got him back on loan. He also accepted an offer for Leon Bullock. Thankfully, we protested it and he listened. But the same sort of story's coming around now. Callum Hazeman throwing his toys out the pram a bit because he can't get a move to a League One club that have got a bigger reputation than us. Ricky J. Jones not willing to sign a new deal after complaining he wanted a bigger contract because there's League One clubs after him. Some of our younger players that are playing are wanted on loan. The likes of Will Swan are kicking and screaming a bit because they're not playing enough and because they want to go to other clubs that want them. But where we're getting injuries in midfield, particularly in midfield, Kamoi Richardson, despite my best efforts, still picking up those little muscle knocks after his long-term layoff. And even Kamari Doyle, Sol Alador Hamilton, they've just not been able to stay fit. Scott Egan's awful at playing 3 games a week. And I'm a little bit worried for the second half of the year. I'm not going to worry about it early in the month, but on deadline day, depending on where the squad is, I may be looking at just getting 2 or 3 squad players that can come and sit here, or maybe even recalling 1 or 2. Because if we go and have a look at the development centre and the players out on loan, obviously we signed a few younger ones in the summer that we loaned out, but it's actually another player that's impressing me the most, and that's Bilal Jesus Garcia. Now, I said that he had the potential to match what happened previously with one of our other defenders, which was Brandon Bryan Waugh. He's now a little bit unhappy, so he might actually come in as a replacement. But he, after getting loans at higher leagues each year, has gone up to 2.5-star ability, 4-star potential, and he's starting to look a really solid player. He's versatile, and although he'd come back as a 4th centre-half like Bryan Waugh is, he can also play pretty accomplishedly in centre midfield, which will help us out massively. Having a great season in League 2, I'm keeping a very close eye on him, so I think he might be part of the answer for us. Albeit we don't really want another left-footed midfielder in the realms. We have got Josh Berry improving as well. He's having a great season out in League 2. We made a really good decision to loan him out on deadline day. He's got 3 assists, he's been a threat from set pieces, and he's been part of a rock-solid backline. So, really happy with him. His value's increased massively. And then even some of the ones we signed in the summer. John Worsfold, just starting to get going now in the National League. Probably needs to step up next year. Daniel Senior, much the same at Yeovil. Had a poor start, but the shakiness has gone now and he's starting to look solid. Adam Wade, maybe we just have to get him back because he's playing at Yeovil. He's doing okay in terms of performances, but he's improving massively in terms of attributes. And he's not got the biggest potential, so he's not someone who's going to benefit from training there constantly. I just think if he could come back here and feature in even 10 championship games off the bench, maybe that's better for his development, and it certainly gives us a bit of extra depth without signing. The big disappointment, though, is Stuart Parry. Scored 3 goals, is not starting that often for Morecambe, isn't improving. And if we do fear the worst with Ricky J. Jones, if we do end up losing that youngster we've got on loan, David Kelly, who, despite his stats, has been diabolical, then maybe Parry will come back. So the lads out on loan generally doing well, apart from the one we really expected to, which is odd. But the squad is starting to struggle and is showing in our performances. I know a couple of episodes ago we were debating in the comments, is it getting a bit too easy? Is there enough of a challenge? Is momentum too strong in the game? Well, when it goes, you could say equally, is momentum too strong? Because we are falling fast and Liverpool is not going to help that. So let's go off to Anfield for an FA Cup game. I'm a little bit torn in this one. I'm torn between playing our first team, losing maybe 2 or 3-0, but having a good opportunity, or giving them a complete rest until the Middlesbrough game. And I think I'm going to opt for the latter. We're not going to win this game anyway. We're not going to get money. We're not on TV, bizarrely, which seems odd. I think we're going to play the backups, give the youngsters an experience of their lives, give them a chance to really improve and have something to strive for, and rest the other players properly because they've got a heavy match load. They've looked fatigued in recent weeks, and we need to look after them and hopefully get a few out of the eye in the market as well. So let's pick a backup 11, the one that got battered at Birmingham basically, and we'll look forward to getting battered at Anfield too. We'll run through it in a second. And here is our squad for today. Complete rest for G-Cock, Taylor, Reed and Bennett Sharif, and Hamilton, of course, who's injured. Kamoi Richardson is back on the bench, as are Bullock and Thornley. The reasons for that is they're the 3 we signed from the Liverpool Academy 18 months ago, and I want them to be in the squad. I think that's only fair. But I've got to also bear in mind, we've got a big league game next week, and that's our bread and butter, when this cup tie isn't really winnable. So we're going to play a backup side. It's about as weak as we could be. The goalkeeper is Sam Hornby, who's League 2 National League standard at best. McDonough and Thornhill the fullbacks with Bryan Waugh and Adam Doyle at centre-half. That back four's pretty strong and trustworthy. Hazeman just in front likewise, but then Kamari Doyle, Jason Ferris and Will Swan, the rest of the midfield diamond. Ferris, someone we might loan out if we can get a couple back or we can get a couple in, because he's someone who's not played enough and he's not stayed fit enough to be a backup for us either. And up front, Javan Malcolm and David Kelly. Basically, it's last chance saloon for David Kelly. He's come in, I had such high hopes for him. didn't produce in Carabao Cup games, had a few bench appearances in the league and didn't do well in them. And this is a chance from the start for him to become a hero and prove why he should be part of this squad moving forward. Otherwise, I could see him getting recalled this month. Got a few good players on the bench. We'll see if we need them. Couple of strikers just in case we do keep it 0-0. But for now, it's Liverpool v Hemel Hempstead Town. And I fully expect to get a battering. Let's find out if I'm right. There is some positive news for us at last. We have made 11 changes to our team. Liverpool have made 10. All of the stars are out of the lineup. Most of them are out of the squad. No sign of Giovanni Reina, Kylian Mbappe, Weston McKennie, Federico Valverde, Luke Thomas, Fabinho, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Alisson. Not in the squad. So it's a backup team with reserve substitutes and 1 or 2 first teamers. But you've still got the likes of Andy Robertson skipper in the side, Curtis Jones in there from the original team, even João Mario at the back's a good player, and a lot of young superstars in world football. And they're coming up against us with our backup team, but at least that might level out the score, and hopefully we can keep it to 2 or 3. We did promise we'd have a look to see how long Jurgen Klopp had been here. Had he come back, or had he been there the whole time? Because that'd be a long stint, and it is. You can't see it behind my head, so let me get it up here. There we go. He has been there the whole time, every year. And he's done a pretty decent job, hasn't he? They won the FA Cup, they've won the Champions League, they've won a Premier League. They've won 3 Champions Leagues in this save. 3 out of 4 there. They've won a couple of FA Cups, a European Super Cup and a Premier League. So he's continued the dynasty at Liverpool. Despite losing some stars, he's got a good record under his belt. And he loves the FA Cup by the looks of it. So this is going to be a long afternoon. As we've got a goal kick with Hornby, just 2 minutes on the clock. Don't fancy our chances of beating the press much today. As Ferris gets it back to Callum Haseman. Time on the ball, gives it away to Curtis Jones. Robertson will go over the top, but Hornby's there. I think we're going to see a lot of highlights in this game. And a lot of highlights at this end of the pitch too. As Hornby just taking his time, just slowing the game down. And he can't even really go over the top because we haven't got our quickest strikers in. As Doyle tries to do just that. It's straight at the centre half and it's down for Bojovic in the middle. Overlap from João Mario on the right. He's being chased by Thornhill, who is a good player at this level. It's back to the right hand side again, crossed in. And look, the header, it had a bit of power on it, but it didn't have enough direction to beat Hornby. Got 2 strong hands to it, and then his wrist decided to be feeble and let him down. It went straight into the side netting. It's 1-0 Liverpool. And with 5 minutes gone, that is not a good sign. And we are back again before the quarter of an hour mark as Liverpool playing down that right again. We are a bit weak there with Kamari Doyle in terms of fitness and defensive aptitude as a midfielder, but is a better option than Swan in the middle of the diamond. As Robertson down the left this time. Must be getting on a bit now to Curtis Jones. Great ball in. And that header, I know Hornby got lost a little bit when coming for it, but he wasn't going to keep that out anyway. The VAR is having a look at this for an offside. It looks well on to me, not even close. Let's see how good my eye is. Am I going to be wrong? Michael Hobson awards the goal. So my eyes are fine. It's 2-0 with 20 minutes gone and Liverpool are running riot as Robertson puts a corner in. 3rd header of the game. That one an unmarked set piece at the near post. The most frustrating of the lot. The defensive record is not going to improve in this game. And for all the things I would say about this backup side, we've got a tall right back, 2 tall centre halves, 2 of our midfielders are pretty tall, and 1 of our strikers is nearly 6 foot. I would expect us to be doing a little bit better from set pieces as they're in again with Curtis Jones. This could be double figures. They're scoring every 10 minutes at will. Can we keep them out? Robertson in to the back post. 30 minutes gone, 4-0 to Liverpool. And I know it was always going to be hard facing them. It was even harder with the momentum draining out the club with the run of defeats. And it's even harder when we're choosing not to defend set pieces. What is going on? VAR might rule that one out, but it was close. And it could be 5. And that'll be 2 in 2 minutes. We've got to change something here. Let's check the goal review. Right, it's awarded. I'm just going to give up now. Fullbacks on defend. We're 5 down in 32 minutes. Who said it was getting too easy to play Football Manager? This serves me right. This is the first video I'm recording since I put the poll on Twitter to ask is FM22 too easy. This serves me so right. Here it comes to Bojovic again into the centre forward. It's 6. I think he was off. I think this one will be disallowed unless McDonough just sat back a little bit. What on earth can we do here? No, that one is disallowed. So it stays 5. It's not 3 in 3 minutes. But I'm going to berate the lads. And if this is Liverpool's backup team, I think they're going to be all right for trophies, aren't they? 5 shots on target, 5 goals for Liverpool, all either headers or from set pieces directly. We are going to tell the lads it was pathetic, which it was. They're unhappy, which I couldn't care less about, to be honest. And I don't really want to make changes yet, because why would I want to ruin the fitness of some of our star players for the sake of maybe letting in 6 instead of 8? It doesn't matter, does it? Let's get into the second half. We're going straight from the kickoff, as you would expect. If they start carving us open from open play, we have got real problems. As Robertson down the left to Curtis Jones, who's drifted wide. Back to the centre halves. Liverpool, look, if they want, they could save their legs and play a training session here. I don't know if they're in the EFL Cup semis. I don't know if they're going well in other competitions. But at the moment, they can have a field day as Kamari Doyle flies into a challenge there, gets away with it. Liverpool, yeah, they're taking a mick. They're moving it at speed. We're chasing shadows. And it's men v boys. It's the old cliche. They've got it at the back. The keeper's nearly on halfway, having a laugh. Bojovic through. They're carving us open. They're breaking lines at will. They've overloaded the box. And they've got so much quality. In it will come to the box eventually from João Mario. Back to Bojovic. Into the back post. Free header for Curtis Jones. Thankfully, he's not the best in the air. And his goes over the bar. We're back immediately from the goal kick, though, to Brian Moore. I think this episode's going to be a single header because we're going to have 10 minutes of Liverpool highlights in this game as we pick the ball up in the middle and it's switched to the right-hand side. João Mario will come forward at Thornhill, who's had a poor game as well, into the back post. Doyle wins a header. Celebrate. That's the best we're going to get today. It's in the second time from Robertson. Brian Moore wins one as well. Brian Moore, sorry. 2 headers won. This is dreamland. Great block from the first cross. Mario in. 3rd header's won by Liverpool. That one's just over the bar. We survive, and we still haven't conceded in the second half. Let's get a 0-0 in this half of the game. As we're back with the ball high in the air on halfway, falling for a Liverpool centre-half to Robertson. Now 10 minutes gone without conceding in this second period, which is a relative success in this game. As they get it down the right-hand side, into Essendon. Back again, into Curtis Jones. I kiboshed it. Commentators cursed. It's his first goal of the season. And with 56 gone, it's 6-0. But 24 minutes without conceding. What an effort, eh? Thornhill has been absolutely terrorised down our left-hand side. I'm going to bring Armin on for the last half an hour. Doyle is going to be replaced by Kamoy Richardson, who will make his comeback from injury against his former club. And then God knows what we do going forward. I feel bad judging the attacking players, to be honest, because what service has Kelly had? What service has Will Swan had? None. But I'm going to take Kelly off. I'm going to chuck Swan up front. I'm going to bring Bullock on as a number 10, again against his former club. And he'll probably wish he could have stayed on the bench at the moment, the way we're playing. But we got half an hour to go, and I just want a goal now. Give us something to celebrate. I tell you what, though, it's a good job we have dropped off in the Championship, because if we'd have gone up to the Premier League and continued our early season form, imagine playing against this sort of side every week. We would have been absolutely terrorised. It's on the edge of the box again for Liverpool. From the set piece, they get it back. And Abal's playing about in the middle. Look at the training session they're having here. I'm literally watching the team take a mick out of us in front of our eyes. It's frightening. João Mario to Abal. And we played Chelsea, what, a year, 2 years ago? We weren't this bad. And that's what momentum can do. We are on a big downward slide here, and this is not helping the confidence. Robertson in, another header missed. I think it was Armin this time. Back to João Mario on the right. How do I pick them up for Middlesbrough? Into the box it goes. Bojovic with a header. Hits the woodwork. That's going to save us now. Still 6-0, and it's a throw on the right-hand side. An onslaught with 20 left. João Mario again. I mean, he looks like the best right-back in world football. Whether he is or not, I don't know, but we're helping him look like it. As Hornby's let one straight through him there. Maligan shoots from 30 yards. The keeper didn't really show anything to save it. I kind of wish I'd played G-Cock today. I was tempted to do it, and I probably should have. Let's have a quick look at João Mario. It's his first assist officially, and now he's come off. We'll have a look at him after this highlight, if we get 2 seconds. In fact, he stayed on. He's gone up front or left attacking wing. He's obviously a versatile lad, as Ferris plays it up to Malcolm. Come on, get us a goal. Finds Richardson. Javan Malcolm's in one-on-one. Javan Malcolm over the bar. Oh, 7-1 would have cheered me up a little bit. It wasn't to be. And even before I got to take a look at Mario, the highlights are back, and it is Liverpool on the attack. Bullock gives it away straight after winning it back. Canate the sub, into Maligan, who scored that last goal. Out to the left back, Andy Robertson. The skipper gets to the byline. Can he cross? He can't, just goes back. Gets it again though, he's got another chance. And he looks confident, he puts one into the back post. 3 defenders decided that Alcide Jose didn't need marking. And he didn't need anyone near him. They're just going to run away and see him off. It's 8-0 and I still haven't got time to look. I'll try and look at João Mario's profile, who's now playing left wing rather than right back. He gets to the byline, cuts it back to Andy Robertson. Hazeman clears. Malcolm flicks on. There's nobody there. We've got 9 minutes left. Can we avoid double figures? That is the question we're all asking at the minute. Liverpool 8, Hemel Hempstead Town 0. And if anyone wanted to question the wheels coming off the wagon, now is the time. It's 9. Alcide Jose scores again. We are 9-0 down, and we have now got 8 minutes to avoid double figures. I don't think we can. I think we're going to lose by 10 here, you know. I don't know what it is about January's in this save. We had the awful deadline day last year with Thornley getting sold under our nose. Then we lost against Crewe after being 2-0 up. And now look at this. The next January is picked up where it left off. João Mario is pretty good. Oh, he's the one at Porto in real life. Fair enough. Alcide Jose, 2 assists and 4 goals. He is a world-class Brazilian youngster. Abao at centre-half looks top class. I mean, it's a nuts team, isn't it? Let's be honest. Andy Robertson's what? 34 maybe? He is. We've got through 2 minutes of stoppage time. And we avoid double figures. Liverpool 9. Hemel Hempstead Town 0. Oh, jeez. That is 1 win in 7 in all competitions. And that's demoralising. I'm sorry. I didn't look. The assistant's advice was you were underdogs and gave it your best shot. Oh, you should read sometimes. Never trust your assistant manager with team talks. Jeez, you learn the hard way. Back in a moment. Just wanted to see if it was the heaviest defeat of the round. I saw an 8-1 somewhere. I think that was Forest Green away at Villa. 7-1 for City against Salford. But I don't think our 9's getting topped, is it? We have officially done the worst of any team in the FA Cup third round. And now we've got to bounce back. And I don't trust us to, because we are in stinking form. And the Championship, and in this case the Premier League opposition, are finally coming to hit us in the face. So we are going to get through to transfer deadline day. We'll be back for that in 4 games' time, and we'll show QPR at home in the first game of February. Are we going to lose any more players against our will? Because we haven't had that cup run to boost the finances. And despite not really having an upgrade this year, we have gained £1.5 million. I wonder how much of that came actually from that gate receipts. This month, oh wow. So we made more in gate receipts from that game, which was our first of the month, than the whole of last month. That's just made us £1 million. I suddenly feel better about losing 9-0 because it was basically 100 grand a goal. If that can pay for another training facilities upgrade, it does help us for the future. And look, the start to the season, that momentum means we can't go down now. But I would expect us to slide at an alarming rate of knots. We're only, 7 points off 14th, 12 points, as we've mentioned, off 19th. This could go wrong very quickly. But ultimately, as long as we're a championship club next year, I'm a happy man. So hopefully that one dispels any myths about this save getting too easy. I hope you did enjoy watching us get a battering. I'm actually kind of pleased that we're getting a crash back down to earth now, but I wouldn't like it to last too long. If you want to see if we can bounce back and whether we're going to have a say in transfer deadline day or we're bowing to our chairman again, then please do put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories and links to the Twitch channel and football podcast in the eye above. But the training guide from earlier is above my head now, so please do check it out if you haven't already. Thank you for your support and watching as always. I'll see you next time, hopefully for a slightly smaller defeat at least.